Okay, Brian, g'day and welcome to Bumper to Bumper. How you going, mate?
Thanks, Sandy. Very good. Thank you. Yeah.
Now, you've got a A30 Austin.
Austin A30 1954 model.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about it.
I first bought it in 1969, restored it, put a Cortina engine and gearbox in it, and wound up everyone in the neighbourhood back in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
And then I sold it in 1975, and I always regretted selling it, and I bought it back again in 2001. 26 years later, I located the car through the club.
Yeah.
And found it, and it was a bit of a mess, sitting in a bloke's shed for 10 years or something. I found it again and redid it and got it going again in 2005, and I've been driving it ever since. Yeah.
All right, now the question was, why'd you get rid of it in the first place?
Oh, I was young and I just wanted something different. I had a few, GT Falcon and a Monaro and a Cooper S and all those sorts of other cars, and then, as you do, got married and didn't have much money and all the rest of it. But
Yep.
After all that settled down, I decided to. I always loved the car because I had fond memories of driving it and doing silly things in it and all that stuff. So I just wanted to get it back, and I'm glad I did. 8 years later, I don't regret 1 minute of it. I didn't really enjoy the restoration that much because it was a lot of hard slog, chasing bits and things. But just to have the car back and relive the childhood is great. Yeah.
All right, now a lot of people say they normally buy a car because it's because their parents or something along those lines, their grandparents they rode in the car. Now, this is a far cry from, let's say, a Monaro or a GT, and you said you've had those.
Yeah.
So my understanding would be that you actually like this car probably more than those types of cars.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I do. I'm just not a big car person. The Cooper S I loved. I thought it was great. I didn't have it that long. But yeah, I think some people like little cars. My first car was one of these.
Yeah.
Back in 1966, I think I bought one. And I just like small cars. And I think you sort of go back to where you started. Like a lot of people come up and talk to us. My dad had an A30. I want to buy one and relive those, those happy memories. Because when these were built, there weren't many cars on the road.
Yeah.
And they're actually, people look down on them a lot. And they're a tiny English car, and they're not that powerful. But they were very well built. Like you look at the cars. Some of these cars still got the original chrome work on it.
Oh.
And like 60 years later, not many people can claim, that sort of thing. And this had hardly any rust in it. So the cars were real. This was built in England and brought out here in 54. So they were really well built. They were a low-cost car, but they had quality. They built stuff properly. They had a 12-volt electrical system, electric windscreen wipers. You could option a heater. They had a fully floating rear axle. All sorts of really good things that a lot of cars didn't have in the time. Like in the 50s, a lot of cars still running side valves and 6-volt electrics and vacuum wipers and all those sorts of things. So they really offered a lot of things in a low-cost car. How they made a profit, I don't know, but
That's another thing.
Now,
what have you done to the car since 2001?
Well, it's got a Cortina engine. It's 1600 bottom end. It's out to 1650. It's got 20-inch and 3/4 SUs, big valve head, a cam. It's got a close ratio Cortina gearbox, Cortina discs on the front, Anglia rear end, Anglia 105E rear end with a Escort, it's got a fairly tall diff in it, so you can cruise along 100k quite easily.
Okay.
So it goes. These days it's not that quick, but it's quick enough. It gets along.
And that'd be pretty towy around the corners on a wet day?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, you got to watch it. Like all old cars don't do what modern cars do. You haven't got ABS and all the rest. But this has got a sway, traction control and things. But if you're careful, you've got to be silly to get into trouble, really. Yeah, it's got a sway bar on the front end and a few modifications done to it. So it handles, for what it is, it handles reasonably well. But one of the great things about it is you pull up in a shopping centre or something, and someone comes and talks to you, about the car. You used to have one, and they go over the car, and you never get where you're going on time. So it's really good to just enjoy the car and the old period charm and all the rest of it. I live in West Brunswick, and in that sort of area, it's really well accepted. Because they're all sort of alternate lifestyle people. So it's really good.
And that's a nice way of putting it too.
Yeah, alternate. Yeah. But also. I'm involved in a car club. There's an Austin A30 car club.
Yep.
The webs. Can I say the website?
Yep,
The
certainly,
website is www.austina30, all one word, austina30.asn.au, and it's a really good car club. You know, we've got a spare parts facility. We have a meeting once a month. We have runs pretty much once a month. You get a magazine.
Yep.
And it's a really, really good club. Very friendly car club. We've just had a couple of people join, and they've said to us, this is a really good car club. You know, it's not cliquey.
Yeah.
There's not, you know, this is not the, you know, people on the left and the people on the right. We're all work together. And we have great fun. We've come up for the weekend.
Yep.
We stayed at Glenrowan. We've had a ball. We came last year, did the same thing.
Yep.
We'll come again next year. So, you know, we really, it really is. I've been to a few car clubs over the years,
Yes.
and this is a really nice car club. You know, people are not pretentious. They just do their own thing. We just have fun. We're not interested in concours or any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking of joining, look us up. Yeah, it's a great car club. Yeah.
Well, you've heard it from Brian. If you've got an Austin A30 you want to join the club. Mate, I want to say thanks very much for being on Bumper to Bumper.
No, thanks, Rusty. Thanks very much.
Okay, cheers, mate.
Bumper to bumper, we love them old cars.